Hey family man, what's good? This your boy Coop coming to you live, man, the Voice of the Yard podcast. So today I got one of the realest niggas I ever met in my life, man. I got one of the realest niggas I ever met in my life. The good brother DC. DC, what's going on with you, brother? How you doing today?
Man, alhamdulillah, all is great, man. I'm here, I'm alive, man. After 20 summers, I'm alive, cracking these up.
Alhamdulillah, man. So, you know, the brother did over 20 summers, man. This is a brother that did over 20 summers inside of prison, inside of being incarcerated, faced plenty trials and tribulations. So what's some of the things you had to go through in there, brother, while you've been doing that time?
Well, with that being said, let me take you all the way back how this shit started, man. I'm from Southeast D.C., been in Wilmington for some time, to the point that Wilmington is my city. I rep it. When I was upstate, nigga, I was representing Wilmington, Delaware, and yeah, we put it down for Wilmington. So, with that being said, 20 summers, it all started. I got booked in D.C. They grabbed me on a double homicide. I had to spank the double homicide that somebody threw me in. And once we spanked that joint, I'm walking down Pennsylvania Avenue, and the U.S. Marshals jumped out on me and tell me that I'm just telling them, yo, y'all just let me the fuck go with the alibi and everything on the double. What the fuck is y'all talking about? Well, they said, your fingerprints are for homicide in Delaware. So that's how it started. When I came to prison, I was married. I had a Ibn on the way, son on the way. Just started the clothing line and a couple other things,
Right.
Yeah,
Being productive. So pretty much being productive, doing what you gotta do. I know that. I personally know that during my time being in there, I know that it was a lot of brutality, a lot of mistreatment from the officials against you while you was in there. So briefly tell the people what some of the things you had to deal with.
Well, again, I gotta go to the beginning, pre-trial, man. It's just like my whole mentality, and I tell people, be who you was in the streets. Don't come to jail and become a nun. I mean, yeah, you can change your life on some spirituality and things of that nature, but when it comes to having oppositions and all of this stuff that people be holding on to, when you get to this place, hopefully you'll realize that the only enemy is the pigs, the people that's locking you in every day, the people that's oppressing you. So I came in from pre-trial fucking COs up because I was still on business about my respect. If you disrespected me as a man, I'm going to break your jaw, I'm going to do something to you. So that's the same thing with these pigs. So I can't understand how a man can come to prison talking about killing their ops, but now they boning with him, and now the cops got them scared to death. They tucking their tail, but you was just talking all this killer shit in the streets. It makes no fucking sense. So with that being said, I came in pre-trial, and it was a pig named May. His name was Vincent May. So with that being said, I'm coming out the shower. I'm in the shower. He turns the water off on me. So he says, I said, yo, he said, you can't come outside in your boxers or something like that. I said, motherfucker, you just turned the water off on me. So he talking about, cuff up and all. I'm not cuffing the fuck up. You just turned the water off on me. So he went to reach for my wrist. I grabbed his throat and slammed him up against the fire hydrant to the point his fucking dentures fell out his mouth. And he's screaming for help. That's how the beginning of my bit started. In pre-trial, you know what I mean? So what's
some of the things that, like, not to cut you off, what's some of the things that, like, how did all these altercations with the officers and things like that, they cutting the water off on you? I'm pretty sure that your family wanted to reach out, make sure you was okay. What's some of the things that affected you, like, socially, as far as in regards to your family and relationship in that aspect?
Well, I had, deaths. On the beginning of my bit, my mother, that was my grandmother, she passed in the middle of my trial. Before I went to trial, and, at that time, right after the trial, then I lost my wife and, had to battle for my son and some other things, that was just the beginning of it. So then I would later on lose my dear brother who I raised, as my son, but he was my brother by 7 years behind me. I was 7 years older than him. May the Lord have mercy on his soul, Tyrell Drumgo. So, and then I lost a son. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, that's what my 20 summers was like. But at the same time, I never lost my faith, and I never lost who I was.
Right.
You know, I couldn't stop, can't stop, won't stop, and won't be stopped. Whether I did, I did 10 years in the shoe street. And then I did another 3 being transferred from the RHUs to back to this place.
Wow.
So, out of 17 years, I've probably only been out of 20 years, I've only probably been in top maybe 7 years. You know what I'm saying? In 7 years, out of 20 years. But that's because I would never compromise who I was. And if you check the documents, that's clearly what it says. You know what I'm saying?
Right. And when you talk about the documents, what do you mean by the documents?
Right. When you Google my name, you see Drumgo versus Brown. That was the first CEO who I punched his eye out of the socket. Reginald Brown. That happened right down 18, right before my trial. Let me see. The other one we got Ernest Baroni. I had that nigga on his knees begging for his life in the back of the cell until Dr. C tried to jump in, and I had to lock Ty C out the cell because he had just came off an assault for 8 years. So I'm trying to stop him from not getting more time because I had just took 20 years. So, I was turning up. I didn't want him to be with me. I wanted him to go home. Then we got I got to think about it. So we got Vincent May. We got Reginald Brown. We got Reginald Brown. We got Ernest Baroni. I gotta think about the. Oh shit! I can't forget the last job. Monaco, sucker ass Monaco up Gander Hill. You was there for that one, and that was a whole other situation. But they the 4 that I can remember. And then when we go through the documents, I can go through the rest and tell you the rest. But once you Google my name, usually you'll see this shit. So yeah. So what's last ice capade was
So I know a lot of times, like, they paint you out to be this monster or this beast, from the official standpoint. But,
right.
I mean, in a lot of these instances, these things was provoked.
Yeah, because at the end of the day, my mother raised me, and to the point I'd be asking my mother, why did you raise me like this? And she said, what? With morals and principles and values? So with that being said, if my mom taught me, if you hit me, hit you the fuck back as a kid. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
She taught me how to eat with my mouth closed. She taught me manners and respect. Thank you and yes, sir, and no, sir. But when you disrespect, then you get the ultimate violation. And the pigs ain't excluded. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
So then we get to the C building. We get to the C building investigation. I got all these accusations of, I got the Ruel Reyes in my paperwork. I don't even know this man. He talking about I started the BGF in Delaware and I'm the ringleader and all this. This is what he says in the paperwork. Then we got the Royal Downs that say me and Lusky was trying to kill the rats. This is all in the paperwork that we are trying to provide, in the documentaries and the TikToks or whatever it may be. We putting all this paperwork out here. You know what I mean? Because my paperwork is a story within itself. You know what I'm saying? You don't even need me for real. You're a reader. You know what I mean?
Right. Absolutely. Well, just to get that dialogue, man, from a real soldier, man, a titan, somebody that really been through it, man, it's a blessing, man. So just let the people know a little bit about who you really are, man, before this wraps up. I know your time getting low.
Yeah. So with that being said, man, first, I'm a father, I'm a son, and I'm a Muslim, you know what I mean? And I just stand on business and principles and morals and values. And, that's why when them cops come to interrogate and ask questions, I plead the fifth or don't know shit or whatever, with that being said, because that's how my mother raised me, It saddens me now, to come back to this Delaware to see everything we stood up for, and it's like everybody dope fiends, everybody crackheads, everybody smoking deuce. It's like we lost all the warriors. You don't see nobody like we had when we started out, Coop. Like, we had everybody on something. Like, everybody was reading Blood in My Eyes, Soledad Brothers, Asada, and we had a likewise mind. We had a common ground, no matter if you was Blood, Crip, Mexican Mafia, whatever you may be, we had that. We had Irvin, Sheikh Ali, Sheikh Tyreeks, and all of that. Right. You know what I'm saying? Now, everybody's dope fiends and crackheads. So it's like, it's a shame to see this state, especially when you go upstate against other murderers and killers and you putting Delaware on the map and you come back and see your town looking like this.
Right.
It's like disgusting, man.
Right.
It's disgusting, man. Like, I'm talking about being on the yard, nigga. I'm like, man, it's a whole nother battle upstate. You been upstate, it's a whole nother battle. I was up there almost 8 years, so, it's a whole nother battle, man. Just putting this place on the map. And we made people glad to represent Delaware after 2017. But before that, it was a shame. Now we come back after all these years, and it's a shame all over again. So it's like, damn, this is what we fought for? Anyway, I'm a litigant. I'm an activist. I got books. I got documentaries. I got video games. I got, so much to offer to the man that I'm ready to change it. I'm ready to, bring the real culture back of being a real man, a genuine man. You know what I mean?
Right.
And I'm starting with the youngsters this time around, man. All my evil that I've done in the streets, I'm coming back to correct it. I'm trying to do something righteous for the communities versus destroying them. But even when I was destroying them, I'm still recognized as doing right by the community. So, that's pretty much it, baby. I'm an author. I got 10 different documentaries, miniseries shooting at you. I got 20 different business plans, man.
That's a blessing. And that's a blessing to be able to do that time and to still be able to keep your mind and stuff like that and stay productive and stay positive and to have ideas and goals and plans and aspirations to come back and to serve the community, man. And that's what's needed out here. It's a very weak time, man, for the people. So, it's definitely a blessing to have the soldiers come home and to be able to provide that for the community out here, man. It's a blessing to have you, man. You one of the realest niggas I ever met. I know you battled it out with the administration for years. A lot of mistreatment, a lot of abuse, things like that need to be exposed.
Oh man.
But it will be. But the thing is, it will be exposed.
Yeah, that's a fact. So you got to go tell people to go to Adgar versus Coop, and they can see the brutalities of we was hog-tied, being beaten, and the whole spree, the whole nine. Like I had to go down a soul train line, getting beat by like 30 cops, popping shit, telling me to get the fuck up. I'm spitting on them, they kicking me the whole nine. Like this shit was going down. And then see when they tore the back of the building off and blitzed Jones with flashbang grenades and the whole nine. You know what I mean? That's just one of the brutalities. You know what I mean? So when you go through and see, like I said, all my cases, or Google my name, you'll see the numerous assaults, whether it's me assaulting them or them assaulting me. That's just how it went. So, I was always taught to strike first, man. So that is what it is,
Right.
I ain't got no regrets. Because at the end of this tunnel, all this pressure made a diamond, and this diamond is ready to come home. As I said in the article with the San Francisco Bayview, when the chickens come home to roost. It said the chickens, as Malcolm said, he said, when the chickens come home to roost, it never made me sad. In fact, it's only made me glad.
Right. Right. I mean, that's some real shit, though. And that's some real shit, and that's all it is, though. I mean, but at the end of the day, it's positive to hear that, even through the trials and tribulations and things you went through like that, you never let it break you down, or you never let it tear you up, or destroy your character, your morals, your principles, your values, the things that your mother raised you to be. You know what I'm saying? Because we was never raised to lay down. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But we keep our law first. We keep our religion. We keep our morals and our principles intact throughout it all. And you will be one of the people that come home and succeed. I know that for a fact.
Sure know.
You know what I'm saying?
You have 1 minute remaining.
Oh, man, so, to my crowd, man, to my fan base, man, this is one of the thorough, authentic men that I came across during my incarceration. Hey, man, you got anything you want to say to the people before your phone call end, brother?
Yeah, bro. Tell them to follow me at Accountability 530, which is at Drumgo 302. And then we got the Real DC Period 1. Watch out for them processes. The Real DC Period 1. You'll see the news articles. You'll see the pictures and, video that I got on there and all that type of shit. I forgot to add, I'm also a prison consultant and a fitness instructor. You know what I mean? So, yeah, it's ready to turn up, cuz. It's ready to turn up, man. Cool. I'm telling you, man. Inshallah, man. Inshallah.
That's what's up, man. Hey, look, man, I love you, brother, man. You be safe. And you make sure you tap in with me, man. I'm around. This is the voice of the yard, man.
Yeah.
It was a blessing to talk to you, brother.
Yeah.
Hit me.
Man, inshallah.
Man, so ladies and gentlemen, that's one of the very few guys that I can actually vouch for, man. That's one of the titans That's a gentleman right there who been battling with administration for well over 20 years, man. Putting that work in, you know, just not going for any and everything that they threw his way. It's sad, some of the situations that he was forced to be in, you know, the disrespect, the cutting the water off, like you heard him say while he was in the shower, trying to wash his ass. You know, it's things like that. Very disrespectful, man. It gets like that at times. But is he a monster? No. But is he a monster? No. This is a man that got children, that has kids. His son passed away while he was in there. So, you know, it's a lot of issues like that that a lot of men face on a daily basis. So, it's not to be joked about. You know, it's not funny. And I'm pretty sure that he's not proud about the things he had to go through. Me knowing that man personally, he's one of the most respectable men I ever came across. Good-hearted man. You know what I'm saying? There was times when I didn't have nothing to eat, and that man would share and open his box and give me whatever he had. You know, that's the type Muslim brother that is. So, as far as character, I can only speak and say the utmost things about that man because I know where his heart at. I know that he coming from a good place. But at the same time, respect will not be tolerated. You know what I'm saying? Under any circumstances. A lot of times, you know, they treat you like an animal. I'm not saying every guard treats you like that, but I'm saying there are instances where the disrespect is real. It gets thick. The disrespect gets real and it gets thick. So, with that, Brother Drumgo, DC, he got articles. He got things you can read online where real things that impacted him in his life really transpired and took place. Alhamdulillah, that brother about to come home soon. That's a blessing, man. I'm pretty sure that he got a lot of good to give and a lot of you know, wisdom to share with the youth. So inshallah we'll hear from DC again. It was a blessing to have him tapped in today. This is the Voice of the Yard. Thank you for tuning in, and we got more interviews coming soon.
Broad day pipes out. He be bustin' on the block, so we gotta keep the pipes out. Mount pull up right now. Just a up on the phone, talk about him when I fight now. Slow down, first off, breathe, bite down. Bite second off, boy, you know we don't fight now. Fight the last niggas, boy, you know they got. And you was one of them too, but I know you don't know now. See it started at little folks' crib. We got guns in this bitch, boy, you know how it get. We getting busy, used to pop out dip. Used to blow niggas down, then pop back in. 2 hit, 1 dead, that's Monday. Ran, got caught up the one way. The one little niggas do hit so Sunday. With straight face, King Von, love that go play. This nigga must think I'm a hoe. This nigga must think I'm a bitch. I'ma hold that man down when I see him. Boy, I'ma give his ass his clip. This nigga must think I'm a hoe. This nigga must think I'm a bitch. I'ma hold that man down when I see him. Boy, I'ma give his ass his clip.